Okay, so I'm looking at question 1. Question 2, managers salary is more than 200. And then find the department located in Boston. That should be no problem, right? Anybody? Number 3. Just let me know if you want me to do it, okay? Jennifer, you want to say something? Okay. Find all salesmen who are making less than $1,500. Okay, no problem, right? And then the company just started a new department, Chicago, and they just installed a new department, all right? And they gave those employees $100 commission if they have never received one before. I think we did. So basically just add $100, right? So basically just give $100 commission. So if we want to do that, just say update, EMP, and set com. So com equals to 100. Well, com is null, or com equal to 0. So in this case, we just simply say com equals to 100 because those people have never received commission, right? But if they already have a commission, then you should use com equals to com plus 100. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then let's see, next one, delete the manager who were hired before that. So delete from no, before 1979. Delete from EMP, well, hire date. First of all, job. As I mentioned, manager. Yeah, managers who were hired before 1979. So we should do job equals to manager. And hire date is before or less than. So how do we do 1979? We can use Oracle default format, like which is like what? Like just say 01 January 1979, right? So that should be okay. Okay. Or if we want to use other format, then we have to use to date. So let's say if I want to use to date, and then let's just put a format here. So let's just say January 1st, 1979, and then we'll say MN, DD, YYYY as a format. Okay, so there's a non-default format, but this non-default format will not be recognized by Oracle as date. So you have to use toDate function to convert that string to date. Okay. Now let's look at the next question. Insert the record a new salesman, Susan, who hired on this date for initial salary, and she has been assigned with the employee number. So that just insert a new employee, and then give 8% salary increase if he or she was hired before 1981, and her salary less than $1,500. So that should be easy, right? So we'll do update EMP set cell. Let me just do that, okay? Update EMP set cell equals to 8% salary increase. So it should be salary plus salary multiplied by 0.8%, right? And then, well, we are going to do that for whom? For the employees hired before 1981, and the salary is less than 500. Okay, so well, hire date is less than 1981. So I'm going to use 01 January 1981 first. And then also make sure salary is less than 500 to begin with, right? And then finally, find the employees who work in dollars and list the names of each one and the number of years he has been working for the company. All right, so this is probably the most difficult one in this list. So first of all, we need to use two tables. So we need to find out the employees. Let's say create what do we need? for the employees working dollars, list the name of each one and the number of years. So we need to get e-name and how to get years. So for that, we are going to use toChar of current time, which is say state. And then we just need to list year number, right? And a minus toChar. And then we're going to use higher date. And also just get a year number. So then you get two year numbers, you can subtract, right? So let's say S higher years. Okay. And then from, you will just do for EMP table, but that's not enough because you need to have information about location. So we can do DEPT next. And then whenever you use two tables, don't forget to join them. Okay, we are going to talk about join today. And this is the first example. Actually, this second example, we did join. Okay, so there will be DEPT, DEPT number. So primary key, foreign key values must be equal, right? DEPT dot DEPT number. Okay. And now we have the specified location. So this is kind of like just telling that whenever you use multi-tables, then you are going to join them first. And I will show you why, okay? Just a second. So for the company, and then list the name for dollars. So location must be dollars. So and location equals to dollars. There we go. So this is the result. Let's run it. Okay. So we get a bunch of employees and their higher years. Okay. All right. Next. Any questions about your homework? So I think I pretty much I did half of it, right? Almost half. Okay. So this type of homework does not take very long, but you should do it early. Don't just wait until last minute. Okay. Because when you do last minute, you kind of like nervous and you worry that you're not going to finish it. And then if you encounter problems, you may not have time to find help. Okay. For example, Monday, if you wait for this time for me to ask for help, because Monday I have to do have classes and also have office hours. So basically, you may not find somebody to help you. All right. So that will be your homework reviewed. I hope there's no more problem. If you have any problem, you can still let me know. So just remind you that next week we are going to have our second exam. Okay. So I will still do exam on Wednesday instead of Monday. Okay. But Monday we can use Monday's time to review. All right. So what am I going to do for next week? We can also do all online again. All right. Just because the classroom will not be able to handle your exam if you come all together. So we'll just do online, and then next week we'll do all whole online, Monday, including Monday. Okay. I just get some kind of a feeling that some students like convenience, but others like to sit in the classroom. So I try to accommodate both. For the next year, we'll be also doing the same thing. The department actually thinking that we should increase the number of on-site classes for next semester. Yes, it's kind of a different experience. If you go to college, just always do online. That you're losing some kind of experience. So I actually prefer to if I was a student, I would probably prefer to take class online on-site too. Okay. So just let you know. So maybe question. Oh, why do you do convert? Because we need to get a year number, right? We need to get a year number from the date. Okay, so this is basically this toChar allows you to convert this data into any kind of format we want. So for example, we just want to get a year number. So that will be just how you get that. So technically, there's small problem. Here, when you do this toChar, basically you get like something like a text, not really a number. So, but But if you want to convert this char to a number, then you put like a 2 number in front of it, but that's really not necessary, okay? So for example, if I want to be strictly correct, so that would be say 2 number, and put average text, put those text inside, and those text will be converted to numbers, and that would be technically perfect, okay? But Oracle is sometimes not very strict on that. Yeah, do that. So you should do the same thing here. Say 2 number. So basically, the text will be converted to numbers. So if you're taking C# class, we know how to convert text into numbers by using convert to string, convert to integer, right? Here, basically doing the same thing here. We're using this function to convert a text into number, and we're using toChar function to convert a data time into any of the 4 elements of the date you want. For example, you get a month name, get a month number, get a day value, everything you can get from just toChar. Get it? You don't know which one is doing? So first of all, this toChar basically from this, the sysdate is current data time. Or data time has like a year number, has a month name, month number, or month date, or day value, right? So you're using that to sysdate. So for example, if I want to just get a month name, okay? So you would just say toChar, okay, and then sysdate, okay? And then you specify what you want. So I want to get a month name. So that's just a month, okay? So that, if you want to extract any elements part out of a date, use toChar. So previously we used YYYY, that will give you your number, okay? Or if you just get a day value, then DD. Okay, if you want to get a month value, month number, MM. Okay, so basically just using this format, you will be able to get whatever you want from this toChar, from this date. Okay. Yeah, this second one will get a year, higher years. Yeah. So you get a higher date. Higher date has a year, has a month, has a day. So use toChar to get the year number also. Because this, you need to get higher number of years hired. Remember, you need to get a number of years hired, right? You're getting age, not just year number. You're getting, so for example, how old are you? You need to use current year number minus your birth year, right? Sysdate is current year, yeah. Sysdate, from sysdate, you get the current year, and from higher date, you get a higher year. Does that answer your question? Okay. All right. All right, so that would be arrangement for, so basically this week we are going to, I purposely made this week's lesson a little bit lighter. Because basically we are going to do 2 things. First, we are going to do so-called join. And we already did like an implicit join. And then we are going to explicit join today. And then we are going to learn so-called group functions. So basically, we are going to use live data to do statistics, to do group statistics, okay? And data analytics is so hard these days, right? So, we already have a lot of data in the database. Why don't we use that data to do statistics, to do data analytics, all right? So that's what we're going to do this week. So for next week, so before this weekend, I should also give you like a list of review questions for you to study for your second midterm exam. All right, trying to post that up before Friday. Okay. Does anybody else have questions? Okay. So now let me, at this point, let's say I'm going to use the same 2 tables again. So let's say TEPT table, run that. And then I'm going to talk about a join, okay? EMP. Okay, so those are the 2 table structures. So the table, the 2 tables are related by what? Department number, right? So we already showed that if you want to come, so for example, if I want to get the list, just trying to do some kind of list, okay? I want to list the department name and the employee name. And then out of this there's two tables. So D name, okay, and E name. From, so let me just try to write a question here first. Okay, so the question was create a list of employees, employee directory, okay? So the directory will just say, for example, department name, including department name, DPD name, and the employee name. Okay, so let's just say that. All right, so that's what we want to do. So we want to create a list of employees. The list includes basically two columns. The first column is department name, second column is E name. And apparently we need to get both tables, EMP and DEPD table. And the last class I mentioned that whenever you have one or more than two tables inside query, you want to list a smaller table first. You want to use smaller table first because that will make a query more efficient. Does it make sense? Okay. So we'll do that. And then at this point, say I said, whenever you do, you have two more tables, you must make sure that the tables are connected by primary key and foreign keys, right? So in this case, we have DEPD number as primary key value for DEPD and foreign key for EMP table, DEPD number, okay? So that will give you the list of the departments and their employees, okay? So let's try to see the result, okay? So we get all this department name and also their employees, okay? So kind of like a list. So, and I said this is more. This is called implicit join. Implicit join. And you wonder, what if I do not do this? What if I do not have this, this where clause to connect those two tables? So let's try that, okay? Let's just do select D name, E name from DEPD and EMP. So what if I stop just there without joining them? So this is what you're going to get. And now you can tell me what is happening. Can somebody tell me what is happening? What's the result in this case? So accounting department, and then employees inside the department. Okay. Now if you look at the research department, Joaquin, Jones, Lisa. Do we have 3 Lisas? I think we probably have some kind of records inserted like that. So anyway, so what did you see? This result will basically just making some kind of combinations for each department and each employee. And this is called a Cartesian product. So it's going to have a list of every department and every employee. Does it make sense? So it does not matter whether that employee belongs to the department or not. And this will give you all the department names joined with all the employee names, regardless whether the department has the employees or employees belong to this department or not. Okay, so this is so-called auto join. Okay, and this auto join is actually not strange. As a matter of fact, when you do this implicit join, the first step, whenever you use multiple tables like this, Oracle is actually constructing this auto join first. Oracle is constructing the auto join. And then from this auto join, it's going to filter each row out. So for example, each department, first one, department accounting, and then the employee Scott. So So the Oracle is going to check, say, department accountant's department number, whether it's same as Scout's employee number, a department number. If it is, then the first row will be selected. Otherwise, the first row will be filtered out. Okay, let me repeat. So implicit join is actually executed as first step outer join, and then from outer join result, the huge table, and then you're going to start use this where clause, this condition to filter some rows out of this outer join result. So now you can just imagine if you have two tables, one table have, let's say, 1 million records, second table has 1,000 records. Then you're going to create outer join, which will be multiplication of the 1 million plus 1 million and 1,000. So you get 1 billion rows, 1 billion row records in the outer join. So that is huge temporary result. And then from that temporary result, you're trying to come up with what you need. Okay, let's in this case will be simply the implicit join. Okay, so that is a waste of memory spaces. So you have to just imagine that when you write a query like this, you send that query to Oracle server, and Oracle server is going to execute that, like this one, and Oracle is going to create this one, run this one first, create outer join first. You see my mouse moving, right? You create outer join first, and then from that outer join, the huge query result is going to filter down to the ones that you need. So you may start with huge like a outer join to begin with outer join first, and then to come up with the short result that you're looking for. Okay, so it's not very effective. It's not very efficient in that sense. Okay, so for that reason, we are going to learn something called explicit join. And explicit join, I remember, was not there when I was when I took a database class like 1995, 96, I think, or no, 94, 93 maybe. So around that time. So I think explicit join was kind of I think was standardized in 1999. Okay. So what are the explicit joins? So explicit join, first of all, there are quite a few kinds. Okay, we have left join and the right join, and then also inner join. The three kinds. Okay, inner join. Okay, essentially this the join we just created, implicit join, is kind of like an inner join. So this is equivalent to implicit join. Okay. So inner join is equivalent. So let me explain to you what is left join, right join. Okay. So let me open up whiteboard. So explicit joins. So first of all, they are all used to combine data from multiple tables. Okay. So they are all used for like a multi-table queries. Multi-table queries. So remember, only select statement may involve multiple tables, or other statements like insert, update, delete. You can only do one table at a time. So this will not be applicable to to those type of statements. So you only do that. You only use multi-tables for select statements. Okay, and so there are three kinds. First of all, is you're going to have an inner join. So that's the one we are familiar with, which is, we already did that with implicit join. Implicit join, just basically you're connecting primary key, foreign key values. Okay, so that's how the inner join is created. So basically, you can just imagine it something like this. Suppose you have two tables, like table A, and then you have another table, table B. Okay, and then if you want to find find the records, the records will, of course, will be like you're trying to combine those tables, but you only want to find the records that have a matching records. So A have a set of records, B has set of records, and you only want to find this part of records. Joins. That is inner join. That's inner. Okay. So what are you trying to say? That is find records that have that are matching. That are matching, or they are consistent. So let's say we have records on departments and the records for employee table. So let's just say this is department table, and then this is employee table. All right. So here we're trying to find the data that, of course, the data is going to say we want to get some data from some columns from department and some columns from EMP table, okay? And then we only find those records, those data that are matching. So department number equals to department number, for example, in that case. All right. And now let's say, how can we do that? So one approach is just use implicit join. So for example, if we do say select ename, okay, and then comma ename. All right, so get some data from table A, some data from table B. But when we do inner join, we will be only we find this part that the department and the employees are matching. Okay, so from EEPT and EMP. Okay, implicit join, we know that is just a where DEPT, that DEPT number equals to EMP DEPT number. So we already did that, so I'm going to do that very quickly. So that's implicit join, right? So we already know how to do that. Now, what if you want to do explicit join? And this is what it would do. You would do the something similar, say select EDT name. Okay, and then ename. Okay, but then in that case, you're not going to just say, I want to do select from both tables. Instead, you will say select from the name of table, instead starting from any one table, say DEPT number, DEPT table. Okay, and then you say inner join EMP table. Inner join. So you're not just simply say DEPT comma EMP. Instead, you will just say trying to use explicit join. Okay, and then you will specify how these tables will be inner joined. So you will say on, and then you specify the condition. The condition will be DEPT number dot DEPT, DEPT dot DEPT number, all the way around. DEPT dot DEPT number equals to EMP dot DEPT number. So this is how you do join. So just simply say that in this case, we want to get a D name from department and E name from EMP table, but then those two columns will have to be matching on this criteria. Okay, only matching records will be selected. Only matching records will be selected. So for example, if a department have a department, that department does not have corresponding employee, that department will be ignored. Similarly, if an employee does not have department, the employee will be ignored too. Okay. So let's try that. So if I'm going to execute that, what do we get? Should it get the same result as before? But it's going to be more efficient. So I'm going to just open, right here. Okay. So let's go to SQL developer. So I'm going to say select D name and E name from DEPT. So you can start with any table. So let's start with DEPT, and then say in or join. Okay, in or join which table? EMP. And then you specify, say, which criteria to be used for joining. So that's a DEPT number, and then equal to EMP.DEPT number. Okay. Okay, so now you get that exactly same result as before. Same result as the one if we do like implicit join, like this one. This one will should give you the same result. Okay. Now we can also, because inner join, it does not matter which one, which join which. So we can just do switch around. So we can say, for example, select D name, and E name. From we can do EMP first, and then inner join DEPT on same thing. So DEPT number equal to EMP.DEPT number. So you can do either way. So it should give you the same result. Okay. And then we can also add some other things. For example, I want to only show department name and the employees located in dollars. So we can use where clause along with that. So D name, E name, from EMP, say join DEPT on, we'll do the same thing, DEPT number equals to EMP.DEPT number, right? And then we can say where again, say where location equals to dollars. Okay. So what you have to do is just imagine that this join class will create a temporary table. That temporary table is based on the join, and it's going to be much smaller than this outer join. So when you do outer join, you remember that is basically doing just an Cartesian product. We basically say if you have like 100 departments and then 1,000 employees, then you're going to get 100 multiplied by 1,000 rows in the outer join. But when you do inner join, you actually don't get that huge temporary table to begin with. The table will be just matching the ones which have department number matches. So basically, only those departments and employees who have relationships will be selected. And then from that temporary table, you filter others that does not belong to dollars. So then this query, just imagine, is more efficient. Okay. Now there's another issue. What if? So let me just try to put it here. Okay. So join, explicit join creates a much smaller temporary result. Okay. And so it's more efficient, right? Okay. Now What if you also need a reference to department number? So let's say if I want to say select department number. So now you realize that the department number can be in department table or EMP table, can be both, right? So you have to specify which column you specified, okay? So D name and E name, there's no confusion because only department table has D name, only employee table has E name. But if you also want to list department number, then you have to specify which table is department number. So I will say explicitly say that something like that, okay, and the D name, okay, and the E name. And from let's say join again, join, okay, and EMP on. So let's just trying to type things a little bit faster. We can just copy and paste, but I'm just trying to type so that way we are learning, right? We're trying to enhance the syntax. Okay. So in this case, we also join, and also besides department name, the E name, we also wanted to get department number. So in this case, we list explicitly which department number we are talking about. We are talking about department number from department table because we have confusions, okay? If you leave this out, you're going to get error message. Try that, okay? So you say that, that's an invalid identifier. So Oracle does not know which one you're talking about, which department number you're talking about, because both tables have that. So we will specify that DEPT and the DEPT number. Or you can just emp.dept number. That will be fine too, because they are equal, right? So the result should be the same. All right, and let's run the result, and then still something wrong. What's wrong? D name wrong? Okay, right, okay, thank you. D name is wrong. Okay, so now we're getting the same result. Okay, so is that clear about join? So when you do join, just make sure. Now let's just try to do outer join for left join, right join. So you probably have a better idea what is a join. Okay, so just say what is left join. Let me go back to whiteboard again. So again, if you do out to left join, you're still combining two tables. And say you have table A, which may be department or EMP. So let's say this is the PT table. And then you have another table, let's say B table, and then there's the EMP table. Okay. So if you do left join, you're still finding the records that have data, some data from A, some data from B. All right. However, this time when you do left join, you will get all the data that belongs to A first. Get all data from A. Okay. And then if there's any data like this part from B that's matching that, and those data will be listed along with those data in A. So let me just try to think of something here. So suppose table A, this A table has X, Y, Z column, all right? Okay, and then table B has some other columns, maybe like a Z, and then W, and a V, some other columns, all right? So when you do left join, you will use left table as the main focus for each row. You will get each row, okay, from the left table, and then you put into the final result. So there's a left join. Okay, so you're going to get X, Y, Z on the left. Okay, so whatever table that result will be coming here. And then regarding ZWV, you have choices. You have two choices. You have two choices. Two possibilities. One possibility is you do not have a matching record from here. There's no matching record. So in that case, you just simply imagine this is Z, W, and the V. So again, we have like confusing columns here. So this is A.Z, and this is b.z, right? So b.z, right? So you basically, if you do not have matching ones on the right, you just simply leave them empty. So this is null, this is null, and this null. On the other hand, if you have another record, something like this one, you list here under this XYZ columns, okay? But then you do have a matching records. So suppose this one is a matching here. Then you put those matching records in here. So whatever data, let's just say this is a 1, 2, 3. So you put a 1, 2, 3 here. And then suppose you have 3, 4, 5. Then you put the 3, 4, 5 here. Okay, so this is left join. So basically, all the rows from left table will be retrieved. And along with, so from table B, if there's any matching rows, those matching rows will be listed along those rows that's matching the record. If not, if there's no matching rows, then this will be left as empty. Okay. Now let me show. Let me tell you the syntax first. So the syntax is you're going to do select. Okay, the name of the columns. So let's just still use dname. Okay, dname and ename. Okay, from. So I'm going to use department table as left table. So I will say left join. Okay, left join EMP table. So EMP table will be right. So this is left and this is right. Okay, and then on which criteria we're going to do the same thing. So DEPT number equals to EMP.DEPT number. Okay, so this is the same kind of criteria. Okay, so this is syntax. So basically, just replace inner join with left join. Sorry, join. It's misspelled. Left join. Okay, so left join EMP table. Good. So let's say the result. Okay, let's use data Oracle SQL developer to show that. Okay, so I'm going to do select dname. Okay, so let me just do both. Okay, let's say DEPT DEPT.DEPT number and the DE name. Okay, and then let's also do EMP.DEPT number and the ename. So you know that we get 2 columns from both tables, for each table. Okay, left front and then say DEPT left join EMP on DEPT.DEPT number equals to EMP.DEPT number. And now let's see the result. Okay, so you can just anticipate what's happening here. All rows from DEPT table will be selected. Does not matter if it has matching records from EMP table or not. Okay, so let's run that. Okay, so let's take a look. So accounting has 3 employees, research, couple employees, sales, couple employees, production has a bunch of employees. Do you get the same result? I think I deleted the table, deleted the department 40. So if you did not do that, you should have department 40, but then the department 40 does not have any employees. So actually, if I am trying to add the records back, okay, so that would be insert into DEPT, okay, values, so department 40, and name is operation, I think. And I think the location is in Boston. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so I enter that. Okay, so after that, if I run this left join again, then the result will be very clear. Okay, so now you see that all department information will be listed along with the matching employees. Okay, you see that? Okay, however, when you get the operations department, there's no employees. So no employee department number, no employees, right? So in that case, you have those missing values listed. Okay. Is that clear about the left join? So right join just opposite. Right join just doing the opposite. Basically, whatever from the right will be listed, but then if that employee, for example, employee does not, so let's just do left join. Let's just write that down here. So this is left join. Okay. Now if I do right join, and then basically it does say all the data from the left, all the columns from the right will be listed, regardless of whether the left table has the matching records or not. If it does have matching records, the matching records will be used. Otherwise, those column data will be left as empty. So let's try that. Okay, let's say so. Yeah. No, if you created that result as what I originally created from script, you should not have that. What I did is I deleted that table. I deleted this table, so I do not have the one. So I'm just trying to show you that, so you don't have to. Okay. So if you select, use the query, use that script from equals to create the initial tables, then you should not have that. You don't need that. Okay, it's already there. Okay. Now select. So I'm going to do the same thing. TEPT number, and the EMP ename first, and then EMP.DEPT number, and the ename. Okay, and then I'm going to still use DEPT number as a left table, DEPT table, and then right join. Okay, right join EMP. So remember now, you are going to get all the records from EMP table, but then depending on whether that table has matching department or not. So it is matching, the department name, department number will be listed. Otherwise, those two columns will be listed as missing. Okay. DEPT number equals to EMP.DEPT number. So the only change we had was just right join. Okay, so now just imagine that all employees, including the employee number and the employee name, will be listed. Okay, so let's say all the employees. We do have Lisa, two Lisas. Okay, they do not have matching departments. Okay, so Lisa does not belong to any department. So that in that case, you say that the right join will just get information about Lisa. However, the employee does not have corresponding department, so those department information will be missing. Okay, so is that clear about left join, right join, and inner join? So if you do inner join, you basically just get only those data columns that have the records that are matching to be displayed under each corresponding column. EPT, yeah, okay. So this one shows the department number -1, and this is department. So basically, we have two department numbers. So we cannot list both of them the department numbers. So they change one of them to a different column. So you can change one of the column names. So they can say as something else. Okay, as EMP. How do we say that? We can just say this FD name, FDEPT number, ED number, foreign key DEPT number. So that name can be changed. Okay. So instead of DEPT_1, you could FDEPT number. That will be okay. Okay. So that is how we do joins, and so basically, just imagine that this join, we just create a temporary table. From that temporary table, you can do other queries. Okay, just do anything regular you would do. So basically, for example, you can just do find the location and location match in different locations. or you may have some other type of thing. So anytime if you have multiple tables, you need to connect them, combine them using explicit join, especially inner join is probably the most useful one. Okay. All right. Does anybody have questions about the join? Yeah. You probably have something else wrong. Or different, maybe you have different. So what do you say? What's the problem? This is right, is not. Or red, but it's working. That is interesting. So you also really? Okay. I can take a look after the break. Okay. Now, anybody else have questions, problems with these joins? So you understand the difference between inner join from left and right join. Right join, left join, basically just just basically consider which one is left. So for example, if I change this department to EMP, and then EMP to department, then it should be the same thing as DEP doing the left join, right? Just equivalent. In this case, this is, so which one is left? This is, which one is right? So this is right join. So now this is DPD table is right table, okay? So this one should get the same result as the previous one, as this one. Okay. All right. Now, if you have no questions about the join, then we are going to move on to statistics, group statistics. Okay. Before we do that, we understand that when you do select statement select statement can select columns, but also can select functions. So select. So remember the syntax, okay? Syntax here. So we say this is a list of columns. Okay, separated by commas, and then from basically just tables, right? So you can use a join, or you can use multiple tables separated by commas, right? And then where, like that, right? So the where is basically conditions. Okay. And then besides the columns, now after select, now we're trying to change, okay? Besides the columns, we can use expressions. I think we did that, example, expressions of those columns. So basically, you can use the columns to participate in some kind of calculations, okay? So this is what so let me show you the example we did in class. Okay, so for example, if I want to say employee hire year, so we'll do say select, ename, hire year. So instead of hire date, so I will do to char, and then say hire date, and then say y. So we'll convert the hire date to year number. So just say this is as year, okay, as year from EMP. All right. So this is expression. This is expression, okay? And you can always do some other expressions. Let me show you another example. So let's just say this time I want to use ename and a job, ename a job to make a sentence. They say select, ename, okay? And then, so instead of say comma, I'm going to put a comma somewhere here. Okay, but then in the middle, I want to connect these two columns with a word like has, a job, as, something like that in the middle. So basically, I want to connect, just make some kind of sentence like that. Smith has a job as secretary, or John has a job as a manager, something like that. So basically we have this text, and also this text. So I can combine the three texts into one. So by using this is Oracle way of doing combinations of text. So basically this is just like a plus, okay? So when you C#, we're using plus, right? But here using two pipelines. Okay, so then from EMP. So let's try that out. So using expressions, okay? So select ename, and then pipeline, that means plus, the plus, and then single quote here, say has a job as, okay, this is a fixed text, and then pipeline again, and then put a job, okay? From EMP. Okay, so now let's see what do we get. So now you get to make a bunch of sentences, right? So remember, every month you receive statements like rent statement or bank statements. So all these bank statements are created like this. Okay, so basically using select statement to construct sentence from your data, right? And this is a simple way of demonstrating that. Okay, now what other expressions we can use? Well, we are going to have a separate day talking about different kind of expressions. I'm going to expose one more of that. But today, I'm going to just introduce special kind of functions, which will do statistics. Okay, so statistic functions, or expressions. Okay, so what are those? We can do minimum. We can do max. We can do sum. We can do count. You know the difference between sum and count, do you? Sum is just simply add the numbers. Count, just count how many you have, right? Okay. And then we can also do variance. We can also do standard deviations, STD, DEV, or maybe STDEV, okay? I'm just sometimes confused between Microsoft SQL Server has STDEV, and then Oracle has little bit different. Okay. So what else we have? Minimum, maximum, sum, count, variance, and we can also do average, so AVG. Okay, so those are the statistical functions. So we can plug those columns into use those plug into those functions to find, for example, minimum of something, minimum of salaries, or maximum salaries, total salaries. Okay, we can count how many employees, or variance of salaries, or that. Okay. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so let's say select mean of mean of salary from EMP. Okay. So let's say what do we get? So we get a minimum salary is 800. Okay, do it again. Can you find the average salary? So AVG of cell from EMP. Okay, so that's average salary. Can we find the standard deviation of salaries? STDEV. Yeah, that's the correct one. Cell from EMP. By the way, do you know what's standard deviation? That's your statistical question, statistical problem. What is standard deviation? Anybody? Yeah. That's correct. So basically just calculating the average trend of your data from the mean. So whether your data are widely spread or not. If it's very narrowly crunched to each other, then the standard deviation is going to be small. But if data are spread out so far away from each other, then you're going to have bigger standard deviation. Okay. So another version of the standard deviation is just the variance. So we can do variance. I think variance is the right one. Variance is not right. Let's see. For EMP, let me see. So variance is not the right one, right name. So do we have to spell out completely? Yeah, it does. We have to spell out. Okay. So the variance is actually just square of the standard deviation. Standard deviation is square root of that. Okay, so that's just like a review of the statistics. Okay. All right. So remember that we are doing this statistics for entire company. Okay. All this for entire companies. Get that? Okay. What if I want to do the statistic for a small group of employees? And this is what we do. So let's just say if I want to find average for different departments, average salary for different departments, then I'll do select variance, standard deviation, STD, DEV first, okay? Salary, okay? From EMP, okay? But then we have to, this time we do small groups. So we have to group by, say, DPD number. DPD number. So what does that do? It will now do average standard deviation for each salary, for each department. Okay. So it may not be very sensitive because we do not show the department numbers. So we can just add a department here. So for example, DEPT number along with standard deviation. So now you see that department 30, 20, 50, and 10. So why do you have this? Because you have one employee does not belong to any department. One employee, okay? So that's why you get this. So if you created sample data from script, you will not have that, okay? Because we create an employee that does not belong to any employee. Okay. So remember, this is what we do. Let's see. Find standard deviation of salaries for each department. Now, let me tell you what does this do. Okay, so basically, you see inside the department employee table, you have many employees, right? And then each one have a different department. So when you do group by, you basically put them into different groups, put them into different departments. And then inside each department, you're doing this standard deviation. Okay? Does it make sense? Okay. So let's do it again. So this time, let's say I want to find average salary for each job. So find average salary for each job category. Okay, so now we could put employees into different job categories and then find average salaries. So we'll do job and then AVG cell, okay, from EMP. And then don't forget you need to group by job titles. Okay, so now you have clerk making that much, salesman making that much as average. Okay. Okay, I think we are running out of time, do we? Yeah, just about, right. So we'll stop here. We'll continue this on Wednesday. Does anybody have questions? Okay.